Greetings, my name is Gershon Barnard. Yeah, it just feels weird saying that. But anyways, what I'll be talking to, what I'll be talking about today, I'm a bit tired, forgive me, so yeah. What I'll be talking about today is on the topic of, believe it or not, masturbation. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. Okay, so today I'll be talking about masturbation. What exactly about masturbation? How did I arrive at this specific topic? Okay, mind you, or am I just another person on the internet trying to be controversial? I don't know. You decide, right? But I highly doubt it because there's no point in being controversial. Okay, right? I had a conversation with a friend. Not really a friend, more of an acquaintance, sort of gravitating towards a friend. Okay, right. Sorry. And a concern that he had was he's now masturbating more per week, per day, whatever. And I'm sitting and I'm like, I'm super confused. I don't see why I fit into a topic like this. Like, this is nothing to do with me. So, what the flip? It's weird being in such a conversation, but I'm in the conversation. So, when I'm in the conversation, it's no longer weird. It's a conversation as to say, okay, let's be open-minded to the question, okay, and then see the question for what it is, a curiosity of which hopefully by the end of it there's some sort of an education, some sort of a informed, satisfying conclusion, hopefully. Okay, so here goes. The concern was this individual is now masturbating more. So I'm like, okay, so I mean, if you masturbate more, masturbate less. Like, I don't see where I fit in. And he's like, no, no, no. It's not that you fit in. It's that I have a question for you. And the question for you is, how can masturbating more be a good thing? And I'm like, so you are doing something and then you want me to justify the thing that you are doing. Okay, I get it. I see where this conversation is going. And then for him, it was a matter of trying to understand why that is happening. Like why go from 3 times a day to maybe, let's say, 5 or 6 times a day? Like why is that happening? Okay. My explanation was view it as a good thing. It's like, okay, why should I view it as a good thing? I'm like, no, listen. When you look at the topic with regards to masturbation, some people, they will touch on the topic with respect to a health component. Like, they would focus on the health is it healthy, is it unhealthy, blah blah blah. Obviously I don't care if it's healthy or unhealthy. Like, I'm not the subject matter here, so I don't care, right? Other people, they would look at it from a biblical perspective. No, what does the Bible say, about this subject matter? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not a pastor or a prophet or anything, so I can't really give from an authoritative viewpoint my insights or my commentary on masturbation from a biblical perspective. Obviously, I know what the Bible says. I read the Bible. In fact, I study the Bible, but I reserve my biblical views or my biblical interpretations on it, okay? So long story short, so what I told this person was like, listen, you should view it as a good thing, okay? And the reason why I say that, it's because if you look at masturbation, now there's a reason why I'm recording a video about this, okay? So here goes. If you look at masturbation, masturbation, essentially speaking, it is this phenomena of finding a relief valve, if I may put it as such, or a form of relief for what we call your sexual urges or your sexual impulses at any given point in time. Okay, how those sexual impulses were triggered, that's not what I'll be talking about today. Okay, so something triggers your sexual urge, your sexual impulse. Okay, and now you feel the need to, let's say, masturbate. Okay, but now here's the thing, you now go from, let's say, 2 times a day to 5 or 6 times a day. Like, is that a good thing, is that a bad thing? My argument is that it's a good thing, and there's a reason why I am hammering on this, nah? It's because I'm actually going somewhere with this. Okay, and this is where I am going. So yeah, so hopefully you'll flow with me, nah? When you have a sexual urge, a sexual impulse, okay, now you masturbate. That is the form of relief to this impulse. A lot of people, they view that as bad traditionally. Why? Because they link the you finding a relief for it, nah, to your willpower or your sense of willpower. Simply meaning, let's say you suffer or you are subjected to a sexual urge, a sexual impulse. Simply meaning the need or the urge for you to engage in conjugal activities. Okay, and now you fail to do so. Okay, and in failing to do so, remember, this is now where there's a split road, there's a fork in the road. Okay, so there's the sexual urge in which you have failed to execute in the traditional sense, meaning with a female. Okay, so now instead, what do? You masturbate, meaning you now take a shortcut. So people view that as you are less than a man. Okay, why? Because a man is viewed as this hunter who's supposed to go out and hunt, and in being successful in his hunting expedition, now he is a successful or a superior or some sort of an alpha male. That is the traditional, the conventional expectation, of which if you fall short of, then you are less than. Okay, I don't have a problem with that interpretation. I can understand why society view it as such, but now here you are in this predicament where you relieve yourself. Okay, and now you are being seen as less than. Okay, but what a lot of people don't factor into consideration is that, let's take conjugal activities without consent. I'm not going to use the R word here. Okay, I'll just say conjugal activities without consent. What's happening then is that is a form, or it's happening partly or mainly. Obviously, the reason why I range between partly and mainly is because this is not my expertise. Like, I don't specialize in conjugal activities without consent, so I don't know, but I'm speculating at best. So this is an educated view or an educated insight. Okay, what's happening there is, if you look at conjugal activities without consent, I'm not going to use the R word, it's partly or mainly due to a result of what we call sexual frustration. Okay, and then sexual frustration, it's one of the things where it's even affecting marriages. That's how powerful and impactful it is. Just sexual frustration, it is affecting a large number of relationships. Okay, it is affecting the quality, the engagement quality of those relationships. Sexual frustration, that's it. Okay, it's one of the single biggest causes to cheating in relationships, in marriages, sexual frustration. Okay, and so why am I making sexual frustration the focus point of the thing it is that I'm trying to drive home, the point I'm trying to drive home. It is because, let's say you masturbate, you go from masturbating 2 times to masturbating 6 times or 10 times. Obviously, I don't care, right? Essentially, the reason why I say it is a good thing, it's because you are now nullifying the involved component of sexual frustration, simply meaning you are neutralizing sexual frustration. So when you neutralize sexual frustration, guess what? In society, we would largely see less conjugal activities without consent. Okay, so if you go from, let's say, 2 times to 4 times a day, it's a good thing, because, like I say, you are neutralizing your sexual frustration. Remember, I spoke of sexual urge, or the impulse urge. They fall within the same range, the same category. It's the same thing that I'm referring to. Okay, but then there's also this other thing. Okay, and then this other thing, it's sexual frustration. So it starts off as an impulse, it starts off as an inclination, it starts off, as sort of a urge. But if that urge is not properly managed or well relieved, then guess what? Now it results into a frustration. And then a lot of people, they don't have the emotional stability, the mental maturity to properly deal with the sexual frustration, and it leads to things like abuse, cheating, lacking involvement in your relationships and stuff. So yeah,